Hey, today I thought I would just kind of show stuff that I've been picking up either on eBay or local shows at local comic shops, uh, and on eBay, of course. Um, I'm going to do it kind of after style, where I'll just show the books quickly and I'll be talking in the background. Um, might make it a little bit more fun to view. First thing I got is something that I'm not a huge signature collector. I usually only like to get signatures if I get to meet the creator, either an artist or a writer or whatever, and talk with them a little bit. And it's somebody that I've enjoyed over the years, and I'll get their signature on something, or they'll do like a quick sketch for you or something like that. I like doing that. I have some behind me. I have some that I haven't framed yet that I will put up, but this one in particular is somebody that he's very old, iconic obviously, and one, I don't want to stand in line that long, and two, I don't want to have to travel to a con where he still would appear signing. It's Stan Lee, so I went ahead and bought something online. I think it's a great one to have. Kirby'd be the other one I really want to get, and probably a Gil Kane at some point. And those guys have both passed, so obviously you gotta do what you can do. But it came with a little certificate, so I guess take that for what it's worth, unless it's like a CBCS guy there. I guess I don't know if you could resell it. I don't really care. I won't resell it. I know obviously I've taken this out of the frame. It is Stan Lee's signature. But the thing that I liked about it, why I bought it, is it's Alex Ross kind of interpretation of Avengers 4, the first Silver Age appearance of Captain America. And I just thought it was cool. I loved how it was signed across the shield. So it's in kind of a junky plastic frame, but that's fine. I'm going to reframe it and have it matted, so it'll be nice, and I'll probably put it up next to one of the other ones up there. But I'm just really glad to have it. It's kind of cool that it popped up. And then everything else, there's no rhyme or reason to this. This is just stuff that I like. Some of it's to fill spots in runs that I'm collecting. I really don't complete entire titles any longer. I've sold off a lot of stuff. I'm really just looking for runs that I love, either because of an art or a story arc or a writer that was on at the time. So anyway, this is Iron Man 64. I'm going backwards in time now collecting. I have Iron Man all the way up to where I want to. I think around 150 is probably as high as I'm going to go. And then I'm collecting backwards. I was able to pick up Iron Man 1 at that last small con I went to, so that was kind of cool. I don't know how far down I'll collect. Probably down into the 40s, I think. I just love some of the artwork on these. This is great cover. And I just love that 20-cent era. This one was one that I had. It was miscut, so I just got this as a replacement, pretty cheap online. And for those of you that watched Wednesday night show that I'm on, I showed a lot of these already, so this might be some of these are probably a rerun for you. This one's a great Gil Kane cover, Creatures on the Loose 31. I just really like the whole idea of this, and just the action that he captures in this. If the guy transformed into Man-Wolf in the back seat of the police cruiser. I love the old gumball machine looking siren. Just great capture of the guy's face is awesome. Anyway, another one, Dr. Von Chilla will love this cover. It's Creatures on the Loose 18. Again, another beautiful Gil Kane cover. 20-cent picture frame. It's got pretty much everything you want, and it's flawless. It's a flawless cover. It is a screaming blazer. Again, no rhyme or reason. I just love the cover. 87, Tales to Astonish. It's got the missing link and Hulk fighting on the cover. I think it's pretty cool. Just very simple. I really love the simpleness of the covers back then. I'm almost done with my Astonishing Tales run. This is 23. I always had 36 to 25 Deathlock, and then you had Guardians of the Galaxy at 29. Here's 21. So I just need 24 at this point, so it's pretty cool. There's prices on some of these. I didn't pay these prices. I won mostly all these at auction, or I bought them locally, and you can wheel and deal. Astonishing Tales 3, 5. Of course, Astonishing Tales. Why I first started collecting them was because of Deathlock, but then I also got into Kazar for some of you out there. Yeah, again, 20-cent. just a great cover. The glare's really bad today. I should probably take them out of the bags. Just makes them really hard to handle. And then I got 1 through 20, the entire run of Ka-Zar's. No, I think it started in 74, maybe 73. I got the entire run, and you know, I think 20 is one of my favorite covers. He's got Claw by the neck. These are out of order, but anyway. So I got the full run of those. I'm not going to bore you by running through all 20 issues of that. This one's one of my favorite covers. I just remember this was when I was really into Spider-Man, and it's a shocker. 152 Spider-Man. But it was right after the Clone Saga, and I wasn't real big on the clone thing. I mean, even the original one. So when that one came out, I really loved that book. Loved that cover. Shocker to me was always kind of a fun villain because he really was just in it for the money. He was just a thief basically that got that suit and started robbing people. And he kind of always stayed that way. But another run that I started to collect because you know, I like Kirby and Machine Man, so I got 2001 Space Odyssey 8 through 10, which are the first appearances of Mr. Machine, later known as Machine Man. And then I also got number 1 a long time ago, I don't know, 2013, around there. So I got 2 through 4, so I just need a few more. Is that 5, 6, and 7, and I'll have the 10 set on this. But it's just awesome Kirby art. I was in a local comic shop. The guy that I do stuff, he had $4 on them, but you know, I bought a whole stack of stuff from him, so I think I ended up paying about $2 for these. But they're in great shape. I'd say 8.0 or better. For $2, I love thumbing through these. So once I get the whole thing, I've already read 8, 9, 10, but I want to read 1 through 7. I think it'd be a good read. This is a book that my brother always had, and I loved it, and it's just really very nostalgic for me. It's one of the first comics I remember seeing and going through, and you know, it's supernatural thrillers, and it's got the Mummy in it, and I love this cover. So I might grab the whole series of these. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I got this one for a couple bucks, $3 maybe. Fantastic Four. I'm continuing my run on this, and this cover is just. I love the Kirby artwork on this cover. It's just got so much going for it. 116, kind of unique where they're not fighting Doctor Doom, but they're kind of helping each other out. It's the 25 cents. That's that 1 month where they jumped from 15 to 20 cents, and they were all square bound that month, and they all came out as 25 cents. And this seems like they were all really good books. I think they were, you know, trying to do something so people won't get all bent out of shape about spending an extra nickel from that point on. But here's 128. These are all just books that I needed to complete the run. 127. Great 20-cent picture frames. I just think they're awesome. I don't know why, they just catch my eye. It's probably a marketing thing, but this is a later issue Thor 242. Great Gil Kane artwork though again. 241. $232. And I don't know if anyone's caught the Robert Kirkman show that's on AMC. It was on Sunday night, and then it's on Mondays, regular time, Monday nights. But the first one was on, they called it Marvel Misfits, I think, and it was about Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and everyone else, how the whole thing of Marvel kind of happened, and how the guys that put it together was kind of a last shot, or before they walked away from comics and they actually hit. So. And it dealt with the Kirby and Stan Lee well-documented thing. There was a couple neat things on there. There was a radio talk show thing that was on there, call-in, where Kirby was on a show being interviewed, and Stan Lee called in, and it was kind of touching in a way because it was almost like a reconciliation. I'm sure it was edited for TV because I'm sure there were other things said, but Thor 162. This is an awesome cover. I like how they got Galactus. I really hope that they can get Galactus back in a good movie where he's not a nebulous cloud. But anyway, it was a good show. The second night was Wonder Woman, and that was a little weird because it had the creator of Wonder Woman was a psychiatrist, and he ended up living with his wife at the same time as one of his grad students, and they each, they had a couple kids each together, and they all lived together as a family. And nowadays it's not that big a deal, but I mean, this was back in the 30s and 40s, so it was kind of scandalous, and just interesting how if you, with that in mind, you go back and you look at some of the older Wonder Womans with some of the bondage covers and things that went on, and paddling and all this other kind of stuff, you see where he drew from his personal life, and they really went into that. I wish they would have gotten a little more into the impact of Wonder Woman, and they did a pretty good history on it, but they just seem to really focus on the salacious, and some of the reenactments are pretty funny. They just make the guy super pervy. He's smoking a cigarette real slow, looking at stuff going on. Just kind of funny. Thor 142. It's a nice book. And the other thing I noticed is I'm collecting, and it's not just price driven, but I realized that these books here that I'm showing, I absolutely love this cover. I got to pause for a minute just to show you this without my big mouth going. It's just an awesome, awesome cover. This Kirby greatness right there. Look at that face. I like how he's got those brass knuckles on it. It's just a great cover. Anyway, they're all 7s, 6, maybe even 6.5s, but mostly it seems like 7's a sweet spot for me, especially for Silver Age, because they're so plentiful out there. I'm doing a run on these as well. Not a lot of competition. You don't get flippers aren't buying these books, so the prices of them are what they should be. These books should be less than $10 or so. You should be able to pick all these up for that price. And I was able to get all 3 the Ka-Zar runs. And on the show the other night, I never knew about this. I think I had heard about it, but the F word is on cover 1, and it's kind of like right above Zabu's butt there, if you can see it. Clear as day. I haven't looked it up yet, but it'd be kind of interesting to figure out what the heck the story is behind that, why the guy would do that. I know that was big in Disney animation in the 90s. A lot of guys did that, but the last book that I'm going to show is Tales of Asgard. It's, Thor book. Awesome cover. And if you read this, and I've read it before, a lot of the stuff that goes on in here, in the way that it's framed and just the whole idea of it, you can tell that this was right about the time where he was forming, I think, the fourth world in his mind. And if he had stayed at Marvel, I think a lot of that would have happened in these pages, or they would have tied it together somehow. So if you think about how cool that could have been, that you could have had, the Forever People and New Gods and Miracle Man and Sandman and OMAC and all those, probably even Commandy, all in Marvel, and just how much richer that would have been. Even if you go back and you look at those books now, they don't feel like DC books to me. They definitely feel like Marvel books. So I haven't seen Justice League. It just came out midnight last night. This is Friday morning. But I'm interested to see how that feels, because there are some of the fourth world people in that, and to see if it has that same kind of Marvel feel to it. They're very distinct to me when you read these books. There's really not, even when writers would go from Marvel to DC, you could just feel the different styles. So, and in contemporary, looking forward now, you see Bendis jumping. It'll be interesting to see how his writing affects DC. Will it have that feel? It's kind of fun to sit back and watch to see if he's going to event death them like he did Marvel. But anyway, those are the videos I had today. Be interested to see what everyone else is collecting. It's kind of fun to me to get this stuff in. You kind of get the same rush as you do from buying what people call keys. I don't really collect keys. I collect runs and things like that. First appearances, I love covers. So it's interesting to see what people collect, and just being in the local comic shops. If you haven't gone to one lately, or if you just go in quick and get your pull and then you head out the door. I was there going through. He got some newer stuff in that I was looking at last night, and I hung out there for at least an hour and a half, and just hearing the side conversations people would have, or the store owner and the guy would have, it's pretty neat. Hearing people's takes on the Thor movie, or they're excited about Punisher coming out, and it's funny to me to see readers that I've been reading since the 70s, so I have all this, not knowledge, but all this information, and to them this is new. Like, they just see Punisher, they never read a comic book before, and then they get into reading comic books, and their Punisher is the Punisher of the 90s, not the one in the 70s that we remember, where he just kind of show up here and there. It's just such a different experience. Or even Thor to them, or Planet Hulk, and all this stuff that's going on. It's just it's pretty neat to see. So anyway, I hope you guys like my video. It's kind of short, 15 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing those books. I know people love seeing books, and maybe it'll give you an idea of something to collect. I've been getting into the monster books lately, both DC and Marvel, mostly Marvel. I just like the look of them a little bit better. The stories to me are about the same, but take a look at those. Maybe it'll spark some interest. I've been skewing away from the superhero stuff lately, so it's pretty interesting. Of course, I only have 4 drawers there, and one of them's only not even half full, maybe a third full, so I'll probably end up filling up with all kinds of monster books. But thanks for watching. Until next time, keep reading.